shout out to GT. If you guys don't know who that is, that's welcome to the Growth Tent. And the reason I'm saying that is because right here, we got some of his genetics in the house. Now, I've been watching him since I first started growing, like around that time. Like I got into him early on in my growing career, and just seeing him, I related to him. He has some ball pythons. We relate in that aspect, and I just related to his growth and everything. It didn't seem crazy attainable. He seemed like he kept it real and transparent, and gave a lot of knowledge to a new grower like myself. So I was already keen of him. Come to find out later on that he is a breeder. He has genetics, and I was familiar with this one right here, the Purple Frost Giant. I'm going to try to get these, to zoom in on the camera, but, oh, the camera's already picking it up. That's what I like to see, but there you can see the logo, and I was already familiar with this one. I knew that he was, the breeder of this one. I knew that he had bred this one, and I was like, you know what? I want to grow that one. I was already familiar with it. I've seen it on his channel. I've seen him post it. I've seen him talk about it, and I was like, eventually I'm going to grow it, but you know how life is. You don't ever really get around to something. Things come up, and you end up forgetting about it, or you just put it off onto later. But, yeah, I've been wanting to run that one for a while, and the Purple Frost Giant this right here is the 3rd generation. It's across the Giant Purple Monster to Granddaddy Purple. Can't wait for that one. Can't wait for that one. Some GDP, baby. Now we got the next one, which is the Cherry Atomic Sledgehammer. And these were the two that I was the most familiar with by him. This one's going to be a cross of the PFG, the Purple Frost Giant, cross to in-game, the Punchline. Ooh. Period. Dot. That's the end. That's a wrap. That's a conclusion. I like that name, in the end game, the Punchline. So that's across of that. And I was familiar with those. I was familiar with those ones right there. The one I was not familiar with was this Strawberry Mimosa. And I've been wanting to grow some mimosa, something orangey, something citrusy. I've been wanting to grow it and add that terp to the garden. For one, I don't believe I've ever tried anything like that. If I did, I didn't remember, or I just didn't have the palate to pick it up at the time and really notice the difference. But I had a friend, Gino. He had some. I got to smell it, and I was like, oh, I like that. I want to grow that one day. And, I just never got around to getting any seeds. I had some friends, growing different types of orange things. And I was like, man, I got to get something orangey. So that's been on my mind heavily lately. And then to be something this, and if you guys know, I'm a fan of strawberries. I like strawberries. I like strawberry flavored things. And the fact that I've been wanting to grow something like Mimosa and to add strawberry cough to that, which I believe it's the strawberry cough crossed to a Mimosa orange punch. So I can't wait to grow this right here. This was like the one, it like stole the show. Like I was like, I got to grow this one. I threw a poll up there. A lot of people said this one, and a lot of people said the Purple Frost Giant. I don't know if I showed you guys the logo, but it's the Giant right there, and he's sitting in a pool with, fruits, and you can see right there bubbled up is the WTTGT. That and the Purple Frost Giant. A lot of people were saying the Purple Frost Giant, and you know what? I got to do them both. I want to do this one, and I like to grow, especially when I'm pheno hunting and finding something, I like to grow the same strain, so it's just easier. It's all one strain. It's just easy to look through those phenos, but if I add another strain to it, that's add another strain entirely, and plus the phenos of that, so it just makes it a lot. But since a lot of people said the Purple Frost Giant, I was like, you know what? I'll grow that one out too, and then followed by I'll grow the Cherry Atomic Sledgehammer. And I'll probably start that up while these guys are in flower or something like that. I'll try to get a system going, but I'm mainly going to be going heavy on the Strawberry Mimosa. I may pop these all and then throw in a couple of the Purple Frost Giant. Who knows? I may throw in some of the Cherry Atomic Sledgehammer. I don't know what I'm going to do yet, but I know I want to grow this one, and I know I want to grow all of them. So depending on space, that's where the other ones will come into play. But yeah, let's go ahead and pop these so you guys can see. All right, now right here you can see I got 12 seeds in each of them. I'm pretty sure it's like 12, roughly around there, 10 to 12 or something like that. But I think for the Strawberry Mimosa, I'm just going to pop them all. So first what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and drop some water. Probably should have grabbed something like a plate or something, but I just didn't have any plastic plates, and I didn't want to bring, we got nice plates, so I wasn't about to bring those out here and get yelled at by the wife. So this table, as long as it doesn't stretch out past it, will be suffice and be fine. So just move that off there. I'm just going to wet both of them. I'm going to do with these 12 is I'm just throwing them all 12. I'm throwing all the 12 Strawberry Mimosa on there if they will come out. Oops, I was closing that back portion. But boom, we got all 12, I believe. All right, and I'm just going to fold that up. And what I like to do is just place them in a bag. Now, I used to soak them overnight. I used to soak mine in not paper towels. Like I used to soak them in just like a cup or something and then put them in the paper towels. But lately, I've just been going straight paper towel method, just saving me a little step. I've also planted them straight in the media and started growing them from there. And I'm going with transplanting and not transplanting. But for this grow, and what I like the most is I like to pop them in paper towels. And then from there, for this grow, I usually start them off in like their final container. But what I'm going to be doing with these is I want to be able to start incorporating using some mycorrhizae. So I want to, develop that root system. So I'm going to be transplanting them. I'm actually going to be starting them out in some small cups, as you guys will see later on. And now with these, I think I'm going to pop like another 5. I'll pop like another 5 in here, or maybe, you know what? We'll do like, I don't really know how much room I have, but we'll do 3. We'll just do a fraction of it just to get some purple frost giant in there. I don't want to pop them all. I may pop them all eventually, but I think for right now, 3 of them will be fine. You know what I'm going to do for the purple frost giant? I'm just going to pop 5. I'm going to do 5 purple giant, 10 or 12 strawberry mimosa, and we'll see how many we got. Alright, so now I'm just going to let them sit until they all, to see how many we get to germinate, however long it takes, and then from there I'll be popping them in the cocoa. Alright, so it's now Thursday. I popped them, I originally soaked them on Tuesday, so we're looking at like a 2-day gap in between them. Sorry, I was fiddling on my words, but right there in just those 2 short days, you can see this right here is the purple frost giant. You can see literally all of them have sprouted. So right there, 100% germination rate so far. But I feel like just by me saying that, I've jinxed it. I know a lot of people have different methods on how they go about germinating. I like to do this. I mix it up here and there, but for the most part, I like paper towel just because it gives me that nice little root. I know some people like to put them right in the soil, and if they make it, then that means they're strong enough to grow, which I also agree with that. But sometimes, I just like to do the paper towel method, and I'll occasionally just pop them in the media itself. But for me, this method works the best. I feel like there's great success in all methods. So it's just as long as you're doing it to the fullest potential, you're going to get good results, and making sure that you really take care about them. But you can see we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Majority of them have popped out. So I'm just going to plant all of these, even though there's a few, like maybe a few that aren't showing the taproot. There's some that are kind of on the other side, so you can't see it. But there's maybe 3 max that doesn't have the taproot. The rest that you can't see is just the angle. So I'm just going to go ahead and plant all of them, even the ones that aren't showing, and then we'll see which ones break the surface. Alright, so for my media, I'm going with cocoa. You can see right there, this is just recycled cocoa from the last runs from the quick fill bags. I just decided, there wasn't much root development on a bunch of the bags, so it was quite easy for me to reuse it. I just let it dry out, put it in this bucket, and now we're here today, and I'm just going to be throwing it in little smaller pots and reusing it. So right here we have our purple frost giant. So we're going to be planting these first, since they were the first to root. It's just going to make it easier, and you can see one actually fell out of the seed. It shouldn't be a problem, we should still be good, but I just want to hurry up and get these in there. So we'll start off with that little inky dink one. Got to be super gentle with it. The rest of them I will set off to the side. But just gonna pop it in there. Now when I'm placing these in there, it's not like I'm doing anything crazy. I'm putting them in about maybe inch down, maybe not even a whole inch. From there, I'm simply just going to water them. Alright, and lastly, so we know what is what, I'm just going to label them. Boom, so now we know what is PFG, little purple frost giant, and everything else is going to be strawberry mimosa. I've now got all the seeds planted in the cocoa, and they should probably be out of the cocoa within about 2, 3, maybe 4 days. They're going to be vegging out alongside this grow right here, which is from clones. This is the Super Buff Cherries in Sub-Zero. It's for the Canna Cribs grow. They're currently right now under the HLG Diablo, and over there we have the Diablo X.
just different light spectrum. You can see there's more red over there compared to this. The spectrum is different, but they're going to be growing under these. They're going to be vegging out alongside these. And if you want to see that clone run, that is going to take place over in the Canna Cribs channel. So make sure you're staying tuned for that so you can see the week by week progress of that grow. But I'll also be vlogging it on this channel, and as well as this is going to be on this channel. And with this grow, we've got several different phenos. They may not all make the cut. We're going to base them off of veg, so some may just get left behind in veg and may not get to flower out, just because, you know, there may be some that are lacking in that growth aspect, and I don't really have time to deal with, you know, the uneven canopy. But you never know, they may all end up being winners, and they may all progress on to flower with me, and I may just have to flip them all and just keep them all going because they just all look amazing. Hopefully that's the case, but at the same time, being realistic, I'm only going to send the best ones or the ones that I like the most to flower. So we'll see how this turns out. All right, just 2 days later, and you can see we've got 3 of the Purple Frost Giants out. I was thinking it was 2, but we actually got 3. We got this one right here, as well as that one. Yep, so we've got 3 of those 5 out, so that's awesome to see. The Strawberry Mimosa, we still have yet to see anything break the surface, so we'll just keep a lookout. We may see something later on tonight, or if not, tomorrow. Checking back, and you can see we now have 4 of the Purple Frost Giants out. Yeah, 4. Still nothing on that one. And right there, we finally got a Strawberry Mimosa out. Oh, actually, make that 2. So we have 2 Strawberry Mimosas. I'm looking to see if I see any others. All right, so 2 out of the 12 Strawberry Mimosa, and then we've got 4 out of the 5 not stomp berries. I'm going something else. Purple Frost Giant. So yeah, looking good. This is literally that same day, and they popped up. So tomorrow we'll probably see at some point the rest of these pop out of the ground. All right, you can see we now got some more, but I'm running into an issue because I come in here and I see some that just aren't growing, and I take a closer look only to find out that they aren't actually able to grow because they're chopped in half. And why? I don't know if you guys can see that right there, but I had a little fungus gnat problem, so I'm actually about to just get some peroxide and just dump it in all of the other containers, just to make sure that, you know, we don't have any other ones that suffer. I don't know what's going on. These gnats have just been a pain lately, so we'll see if we can get them to bounce back, but it's looking like they're fucking up a bunch of the plants, and we can't have that. Right here I have a mix of 1 part hydrogen to 4 parts water, and I'm just going to douse them with it. Important in all of them, even the ones that I can noticeably tell are dead, just because, I mean, there's some larvae in there and I don't want it spreading and causing havoc in the other ones. So hopefully this is able to save them all, and we'll find out. All right, so I just want to quickly talk about like this whole problem with the pest and my IPM, and just give my, you know, advice on it, as well as give what I'm going to be doing. Usually what I typically do is I spray with Athena IPM. That's what I was recently using, and then I switched over to the Mammoth Canna Control, only because I've seen some great reviews of it. I was looking for a new product, not because of the IPM from Athena didn't work. It was just, you know, I wanted to switch it up. Maybe the bottle was coming to an end. I didn't feel like I needed to buy some more of that. I was like, you know what? Let me try it out. Let me see if something, because I don't think it didn't get rid of them. You know, they're still here, so it's not like it got rid of them. Maybe the infestation was just so bad that, you know, they were able to push through. You know, I had some hydrogen peroxide using that as well, but with me coming to an end on that, I was like, maybe they've gotten used to it. Let me switch to something else, and now I'm running that Canna Control by Mammoth. I feel like that's going to be something good to do, just constantly switching it, because you know how they say, I remember somebody growing up, somebody said like roaches get used to like the chemicals in Raid, so they have to switch up the formula. So maybe that's the same instance going on here. So just switching is going to like reset everything and then have them like screaming and running for their life or flying. Seeing one right there, I just wanted to smack it. But yeah, what I typically do is during veg, I spray 2 to 3 times a week. What I'm going to be doing is spraying every other day. The dosages I'm using for the Mammoth Canna Control, I'm going on the heavier end. Actually, I went on the middle ground, which was like 60 milliliters per gallon. So I'm on 120 for those 2 gallons, and I may bump it up to the heavier dose at 90 milliliters per gallon, depending on how this works. I think it's going to be good. I'll probably throw a sticky trap per plant. I'll just go grab some more and stick those in there just to like really help, because the sticky traps do catch them in the adult stage, and hopefully we're able to really kill those larvae. I also got some BTI, so if none of that works, boom, we're going to that. I just need them, you know, get rid of them. All right, yeah. So you can see this is a part of another grow. I got my trellis up for this grow, but right here we have the only plant that made it out. The rest of them, they're all just completely died out. I try to do what I can to make sure that this one pushes through. This is a strawberry mimosa. It's also the one I originally wanted to grow the most. So the fact that we went through the whole plant and now only have the whole pack and we only have one now, it's kind of scary, you know, like that like opens my eyes, and it's just like, hey, stay more on top of things like that. It sucks that it had to happen. I shouldn't even have had them out here. I should have kind of like kept them seclusive, and you know, I knew there was a fungus gnat issue, but I didn't think it was going to be too big of a problem for them. I have seen this in the past where, you know, they kind of, the larvae just eat at the roots and they're not able to make it through or grow. But since I do have one, this one, it's going slow, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to just separate it and put it away from everything else, put it in its own little, you know, area. Well, it'll still be out here, but I'm just going to cover. I'm going to put it inside of a dome to kind of keep it sealed off from that outside environment, also keeping that humidity high. And hopefully this one can thrive. I am going to be popping some more. I do have some more of the purple frost giant, so I will be popping some more of that, as well as probably some of the atomic sledgehammer. I might just do them all. Who knows? I don't know. But this is the special one right here, since it's the only one. So we're going to try to do great by this one, and might even just turn into a massive plant. I don't know. We'll see. What do you think I should do? Should I just grow this out into one massive plant? Just grow it out and see how it looks, pop more beans? What should I do? I don't know. Find out on the next episode of What Am I Doing in This Grow Room. But I appreciate you guys. Thank you for tuning in. Until the next video, stay updated on how this is going. Peace.